I've got my tea, my glasses. I think that's all we need, right? Filming on my new camera. So excited. Hello beauties, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Janelle, and if you are not new here, hi, my name is still Janelle. Thank you so much for being here. Today I am going to be sharing with you guys my January TBR, and I am super excited about the month of January and all the books that I have planned to read. I will say this though before I go into this. This is definitely a very ambitious TBR because January means that I am 2 months away from getting married, which means that planning starts to get a little bit more stressful and overwhelming. I don't know how many of these books I will actually read, but I do plan to read the majority of them. I don't think I'm going to be reading as much as I have been as we're approaching the wedding, and then even for the month of March, because I'll be on my honeymoon and all that kind of stuff. I just don't know how much reading I'm going to get done. So I guess we'll see how this goes, but I have 10 books that I have planned to read. I think any other month I'd be able to read 10 books, but because we're so close to the wedding, I have no idea how many books I am actually going to get to. Before we get into the TBR, if you are not already, make sure to subscribe down below. It's really easy. It's a big red button. It says subscribe. Just click that, and then also, make sure to click the bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video, because you really don't want to miss it. It's super fun here, and I think that you will enjoy it. But for anyone who doesn't know, I make videos all about books, bookish things, book vlogs, plan with me's, all that kind of stuff. So if you are looking for more of that, then you are definitely going to want to subscribe. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, because I would really appreciate it, and it's just going to make you feel more included, you know? It's just going to make you feel involved, and you should do it. It's really great. It's really good for the soul. You should do it. Okay, so moving on to the books. The first book that I have that I want to read this month is Renegades by Marissa Myers. So this is on my priority TBR for the year. I really want to read this. I'm so excited about it. I love the cover. I love the idea of the story, and I've heard a lot of good things about this book, so I'm really excited to dig into this one. I'm just going to read the synopsis of a lot of these books so that you guys can also get a feel for the book. If you would like to purchase any of these books, they will all be linked in the description box below. So if any of these books sound interesting to you, or you would like to purchase them, I will have them all linked down below, so you can easily click on the link and purchase it yourself. Okay, so the Renegades are a syndicate of prodigies, humans with extraordinary abilities, who emerged from the ruins of a crumbled society and established peace and order where chaos reigned. As champions of justice, they remain a symbol of hope and courage to everyone, except the villains they once overthrew. Nova has a reason to hate the Renegades, and she's on a mission for vengeance. As she gets closer to her target, she meets Adrian, a renegade boy who believes in justice and in Nova. But Nova's allegiance is to a villain who has the power to end them both. So this sounds super fun. Obviously fiction. I'm sensing a little bit, I don't know why, but this cover really makes me feel sci-fi. I don't know, but I really like it, and I'm really excited for this. I think this is going to be a great read for this month. The next book that I have for this month is The Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. So C.S. Lewis actually wrote the Chronicles of Narnia, and they're obviously a big hit. I love them. I know a lot of people who love them. So this is another one of his books. I just finished a book by him called Mere Christianity, and I really loved it. It was just a practical approach to Christianity and what it looks like, and I think it would be good for anybody to read. Even if you aren't a Christian, or you don't believe in God, or you don't believe in anything, or you believe in something, it's just a really cool practical way to approach it, and it kind of makes you think. So it's really, really cool, and I definitely recommend it to anybody if that's something that you're interested in. If not, obviously it doesn't matter. But this is the Screwtape Letters, and this one has been recommended to me by a lot of family members and just how much they love it, and so I thought, why not read it? I got it for Christmas, and I'm super excited about it. This says, this classic has entertained and enlightened readers the world over with its sly and ironic portrayal of human life and foibles from the unique vantage point of Screwtape, a highly placed assistant to our Father Below. At once wild comic, deadly serious, and strikingly original, C.S. Lewis gives us the correspondence of the worldly wise devil to his nephew Wormwood, a novice demon in charge of securing the damnation of an ordinary young man. The Screwtape Letters is the most engaging account of temptation and triumph over it ever written. So the format of these books is like letters. So, like, it'll have, like, an address. So it'll say, My Dear Wormwood. So it's just, I don't know. The format of it sounds good. The plot of it, the storyline, like, it all just sounds really, really awesome. So I'm really, really excited to dig into this. The next book that I have is Love That Lasts by Jefferson and Alyssa Bethke. So this is a faith-based book, but it is just basically how this couple, it says how we discovered God's better way for love, dating, marriage, and sex. Yes, I know. But I figured that this was really, really appropriate for me personally to read, just because I am approaching marriage, and I do want to know as much as I could possibly know and begin my marriage with Jonathan on the best foot possible, and just really strive for a healthy marriage for the two of us. I want to get this read before we get married, so I figured what's a better time than the start of the new year to read about a new beginning with a new person. The next book that I have on my January TBR is When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. So this I am very, very excited about. I've been wanting this for like so long, literally since it came out. And I actually got it for Christmas, and I was so excited about it. Like, this was one of my like top books that I wanted, and I'm really, really excited that I got it. But this says, Sydney Green is Brooklyn born and raised, but her beloved neighborhood seems to change every time she blinks. Condos are sprouting up like weeds, for sale signs are popping up overnight, and the neighbors she's known all her life are disappearing. To hold on to her community's past and present, Sydney channels her frustration into a walking tour and finds an unlikely and unwanted assistant in one of the new arrivals to the block, her neighbor Theo. But Sydney and Theo's deep dive into history quickly becomes a dizzying descent into paranoia and fear. Their neighbors may not have moved to the suburbs after all, and the push to revitalize the community may be more deadly than advertised. When does coincidence become conspiracy? Where do people go when gentrification pushes them out? Can Sydney and Theo trust each other or themselves long enough to find out before they too disappear? So this sounds super interesting. Obviously a thriller, it literally says a thriller on the title, but I have been really wanting to read more thrillers recently, so I'm really, really excited for this. Also, please forgive how many times I'm going to say I'm excited in this video. I just can't help it. When you have a new TBR and you have books, you can't help to be excited and express that you're excited. So, if it annoys you, I'm sorry, but I'll say it a lot. So the next two books that I have to read for this month are part of a series, and it is the Cruel Prince series. So my plan is to read at least the Cruel Prince if I get to the Wicked King. That would be awesome, but I went ahead and put both of them on because I know how I am with series, and once I read one, I need to dive into the next. So I put them both on my TBR for this month, but this one, I feel like I've talked about this book on my channel, but I will read the synopsis of A Cruel Prince again. It says, Jude was 7 when her parents were murdered, and she and her 2 sisters were stolen away to live in the treacherous high court of Fairy. 10 years later, Jude wants nothing more than to belong there, but many of the Fae despise humans, especially Prince Carian, the youngest and wickedest son of the High King. To win a place at the court, Jude must defy him and face the consequences. So, sounds super interesting. I love kings and queens and all that kind of stuff. It just really helps me dive into the fantasy of it all, but I'm really excited for both of these. So yeah, This next book that I have on my TBR is kind of just a fallback book, so if I'm not really feeling like reading anything on the TBR, I can easily read this and know that I will enjoy it, and it is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. If you watched my December TBR, you know that this was on my TBR for last month too, and I never got to it. So it's on my TBR again. Hopefully I get to it, but yeah. I feel like I don't need to read the synopsis of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince because Harry Potter's so well known. But if you do want to read the synopsis, again, the link will be in the description down below so you can check it out for yourself. The next book that I have on my TBR that was on my December TBR as well is Watchers by Dean Koontz. So this I need to get read because, once again, a family member recommended it to me, and it is Aunt Temple. So Aunt Temple, if you're watching this, it's on my TBR. I plan to read it, and thank you for recommending it. I'm really excited about it. Hopefully I have time to dive into it this month, but I'm really excited for it. It's a thriller. It's a terrifying novel of a man, a dog, and a threat that could only have come from the darkest corners of the imagination. So it sounds really good. I'm really, really intrigued by it. But I do need to read it, and I want to read it before I see my Aunt Temple again because I feel bad that I haven't read it yet. But I'm going to read it, so I need to get on this one. The next book that I have is more of a book that I'm planning to read over a period of time, and this one I'm planning on incorporating with like my daily devotionals in the morning, but it is Knowing God by J.I. Packer. So this is really, I mean, what it sounds like. It's a book about getting to know God, and I feel like it is perfect to do during my devotionals, and so yeah, I don't think I'll be finishing it this month, but it will definitely be started this month. So I guess we'll see where this one takes us. And last, but definitely not least, this is the book that I am most excited about, and it is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. So this was definitely my #1 book that I wanted for Christmas. My #1 book on my TBR, my #1 book on books to buy list. And my sister-in-law, Jasmine, actually got this for me. Once again, thank you, Jasmine. I know that I already thanked her in my Christmas video, what I got for Christmas video, but I'm really, really excited about it. So this is basically about Addie LaRue, and she makes a deal to live forever, but she will be forgotten by everyone that she meets. And so she literally goes about living her life. And then one day, a man recognizes her and remembers her name, and now she's very confused, like, I'm supposed to be forgotten by everybody, why does this man remember my name? So I'm really excited to dive in and see where the story takes me. I haven't read any more about this book than that, and I'm doing that on purpose because I want to be completely surprised and caught off guard, but I'm really, really excited about it, and I think it's going to be a fantastic read. But I am ecstatic for this one. So this one will probably be one of the first books that I read because I'm so excited for it. But yeah. Okay, so that is every single book on my January TBR. I don't think I'm going to read all of these books this month, but those are kind of my options for the month that I want to kind of stay in. But I'm really, really excited about them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.